Don't, you better not pee in this. You want to go to Boston? Excuse my bangs, they look kind of crazy. I promise they die down in the morning. I'm at my hotel and it's my first night. I ordered sweet green because it's across the street from me, but I didn't want to leave the hotel. And then I forgot to ask them to include utensils. So I got through almost halfway of Abigail. Gina reminds me of a rambunctious girl in a Disney original movie. Yeah, so I made substantial progress on both books I brought, which is good because I definitely needed to do something. I was editing a little bit on the plane. Oh my god, I don't know why. I normally just like either sleep through the entire flight or read through the entire flight. But this flight I was just, I guess I'm just, maybe I wasn't like anxious because this is my first time solo traveling. But I did not really get as much of one thing done as I thought. I did edit a little bit on the plane and I got through a couple of clips before I was like, this is kind of awkward. And I didn't want to keep watching myself talk. Hello, I got ready. The cafe I want to go to is opening at 8. So I'm gonna review my readings again, make sure that I understand it. I'm gonna eat my protein bar that I got when I was at the airport and drink some water. I got myself breakfast and utensils for my sweet greens later, but I got a cold brew and I got the bacon, egg, and fig bagel. Ooh. Hello, I am back from class and it was really fun. I had such a good time. I got to actually meet some of my classmates because I do an online program. So I'm normally not in Boston. And I am gonna freshen up a bit and then I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head to a bookstore. I think it's the Harvard Co-op Coop bookstore. I'm gonna head out to Seaport today. I'm gonna check out the Saison pop-up and Le Labo while I'm there. And there is this like restaurant too, this like udon restaurant. I'm gonna go there for lunch. Hi, this is editing me from the future, very, very far future. Um, I had a very nice talking clip while I was in my hotel on my last night in Boston, but I was very annoying and I was clipping my earring that I was holding the entire time, and it was a nightmare to edit, so I'm just going to quickly summarize what I was talking about. I explained that since it was my first solo trip, I had a lot of reflection about my experience compared to my previous vacations, and at the time, my most recent one was my Hawaii one. I went to Hawaii as a sister trip with my 3 other sisters, and overall, while I enjoyed the socialization aspect of having company on a trip, so being a part of a group or a duo or a trio, whatever, it was nice to have that company. I definitely loved the experience of being alone because I got to not only do things that I normally would not be able to do, I also never had to like really stop and consider like, would other people enjoy this, or am I being selfish, or can they eat this, etc., etc. I just went and did what I wanted to do. However, I had the realization on this trip is that although when I'm with a group of people, I'm very easygoing and I let people choose what they want to do if they have a very strong opinion about something. I don't know if that was me being nice and letting them choose, but instead that I was so indecisive that it was just better for them to choose. So that was my realization on my solo trip, is that I am just a very indecisive person. And my first night in Boston, I went to dinner at I believe it was called the Harvest, and the only reason why I went there was because I could not decide where I wanted to go, so I inputted the names of a bunch of restaurants that I was thinking of going to into a wheel randomizer, and I spun it and then it chose for me. So that was why I ended up there. And then even on my second night, I was incredibly indecisive and I wasted a lot of time walking around trying to figure out where I wanted to go for dinner, because my first option was just like a really socially awkward situation, and then I just had to like, okay, let me just walk around until I find something, and I ended up at Lou's, which it turned out great because Lou's is a, in my opinion, very solo traveler friendly venue. They had lots of booths that could seat very cozily 2 people, but comfortably just 1 person. They also had bar seating. The ambiance was great. It was very cozy. They had live music. I just had my book and I ate my food, and the staff there was incredibly friendly and helpful in helping me choose. They also had really good portion sizes for their small plates. Those were my reflections on my first ever solo trip, and hopefully this time there's not some awkward and annoying extra audio in the background. Oh my goodness.
It's so cute. Thank you.
That's so, thank you.
From the restaurant for you.
Thank you.
I put $50 in there for your birthday.
Oh.
Come down the store.
You're gonna run right out of smile.
Okay. I think I should have diversified my birthday wish list. For my birthday, I normally just tell people to buy me books, and I usually get a decent amount, but I think this is the most I've gotten in like for a birthday, which I'm so blessed. So I just wanted to talk about some of the really cool titles that I got. I'm gonna start with like some of the titles that I picked out for myself when I went shopping. So these two books I picked up in Boston. It is Saving Vincent by Joan Fernandez and The Book of Goose by Yi Yun Lee. So both of these I wanted, and then no one picked it up on my wish list, so I was like, I'll get it for myself. So first is Wide Sargasso Sea. This is by Jean Rice. It is a retelling of Jane Eyre through the perspective of the quote, crazy woman in the attic. I actually have not read Jane Eyre. Because I planned on reading it, I also wanted that on hand when I finished reading Jane Eyre. I want to be able to read Wide Sargasso Sea. And then the other one I picked up, it's from the McNally's edition imprint. It is Ex-Wife by Ursula Parrott. Oh my god, it like mentions Jean Rice, the author of this book, on the blurb in the back. My cousin is so sweet. He got me a bunch of Toni Morrison books. Isn't that amazing? I had Jazz, Song of Solomon, Paradise, and Love. But yeah, I do have Beloved, and I have The Bluest Eye, and I have Sula, and I have 4 more Toni Morrisons to add to my collection. I'm really excited. I have started Sula. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I did start it when I was out, and I love her writing. My other cousin, he picked up Barbara Pym's Excellent Women. I'm really excited to read her writing because she was blurbed on John Bowen's book in the review. So like, I feel like I need to pick this up, and it was on my wish list. And then I also got a Banana Yoshimoto, Amrita. Banana Yoshimoto, like I've mentioned before, is one of my favorite authors. Here's the funny part. So he bought this on Amazon, and they were having a sale where it was like buy 2, get the 3rd one free. And none of the other books I wanted was on that sale. So he just picked something that was highly reviewed. And he got me Sarah J. Maas. And then my sister got me 2 books. She got me Mina's Matchbox by Yoko Ogawa. And then I also got The Dream Hotel by Laila Lalami. Oh my god, I was so excited that she got me this because I've been wanting a copy of this book for a while. Now my desk is covered in books again. The power went out. So I have an assortment. I don't know if I caught it, but I have an assortment of candles lit. And I'm pretty sure that it's excessive, but oh well. Happy Halloween to all those who celebrate. This is my costume, which is a frog hat, which has been my costume for the last 3 years when it comes to my home costume. Me and Dango go as frogs every year. He took off his hat already because he hates hats, and the only way I can convince him to keep it on long enough to take some pictures is to give him a treat. So he did get a treat, and then we played a bit after, so he's happy now. I wanted to talk about some books that I've gotten recently. I found some really cool ones when I went to Third Place Books the other day. I also found some free magazines in the Third Place Commons library. They have like a little stand outside that they sell books, but they also gave out free magazines, so I will show those as well. This first one is the Oxford Soju Club. This one is about the immigrant Korean diaspora, and we follow primarily 3 characters. One is a North Korean spy, another is a Korean American CIA agent, and then there's another immigrant, like Korean immigrant in London. I think this is London because it says Oxford. And they're all linked to this thing called the Soju Club at the, what is it? It's the only Korean restaurant in Oxford. So it's about these characters' stories, how they weave together, and it tells the tale of what it means to be Korean when you're part of the diaspora. And I really like the tagline. This is what convinced me to buy it. The natural enemy of a Korean is another Korean. The next one I got is Lord Jim at Home. This is another McNally's edition. The foreword is written by Otesha Moshfegh, which I haven't read an Otesha Moshfegh, but I've heard lots of good things, so I assume that her name being on this has some merit. It's described as nastily horrific and a monstrous parody of the upper middle class English life. So that's tea. Next one, Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck. I've heard mixed reviews on this, but I read the tagline and I thought it was really interesting. Or not the tagline, but the summary. I read the summary and I thought it was really interesting. And I know that Jack Edwards, I think this is recommended on his like 5-star reads or something like that, like video. So I found a used copy, which is what convinced me to get it. So Halloween plans is to do my laundry and maybe watch something. I don't like scary things. I'm actually like a huge scaredy cat. I can't watch scary things. Anything that has jump scares, anything that has something like ghostly, creepy, anything that has loud noises. I'm just like really easily startled, and so I just avoid the pain of not being able to go to bed by avoiding watching scary things. I don't mind like crime, like that sounds so bad. I don't mind crime stories, so I do watch some true crime. I've watched some like fictional crime things, as long as it's not like too scary. But I more so like the cute Halloween stuff. I don't know what's a good thing to watch that's like cute Halloween. Yeah, I just had a lot of random tasks and errands that just kind of fell through the cracks that I got done today. So I am pretty happy about that. And I got to hang out at one of my favorite matcha cafes, which is Nana's.